The best scenes of all time, episode 2, Kratos gets the blades. Wow, this scene is absolutely incredible. When God of War 2018 was first announced, there were so many questions regarding its relation to the first 3 games. Is this the same Kratos? How long after does this game take place? Where are the blades? Where are the damn blades? In true fashion, the god of teasing fans, Cory Barlog, answered a few of these questions, but also left us with even more questions than we started with. Who blew the horn, Cory? You can't hide them forever. When I started this game, I thought there was no way in Helheim we'd see any of Kratos' old weapons here. So when we eventually got to this scene, wow. The first thing I want to talk about in this scene is when Atreus starts getting sick, we see Kratos get desperate. And I think Christopher Judge deserves a lot of credit here for giving us a performance that's restrained, but you can still hear the panic in Kratos' voice. And then Freya starts talking like, oh, gee, I sure do wish there was a weapon that wasn't from this realm that could start a fire. That would be pretty sweet. And then Kratos says,
then I must return home.
And this was the first time I got chills in this scene. I started to suspect he was going home to get the blades, but I still had my doubts. I was saying there's no way. There's absolutely no way. That would be way too sweet. That would be the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And damn, was I wrong. We then get that sequence of Kratos traveling back home on the boat, and I really like this part. I like how quiet and still it is for Kratos while all this chaos is going on around him. As he gets closer to home, the weather starts to get crazier and the color palette just turns all red. That mixed with the brief flashes of Athena make it feel like Kratos is traveling back into his past, a past that clearly affected him in a very negative way. It gives us, the player, a chance to sit with Kratos as we both reflect on the same things, the blades, Greece, and everything Kratos went through in his past. The fight before is brief, but it's still enjoyable, and there's 2 things I really like about it. 1, the atmosphere is incredible because the red mixed with all the lightning, the scene feels just pretty epic. 2, I think the fight is important because it shows how obsolete the axe is against these frost dudes, and it makes the next fight stand out even more. The crown jewel of this scene to me though is when Kratos actually goes into the house, because that's when things get crazy. The music here is incredible, as it is throughout the entire game, and I love how for the first part of the scene, neither Mimir or Kratos say a single word. So much is being said by Kratos without actually speaking, like when he takes that last pause to hold his bandages one last time, we know what that represents, we know what's going on in his mind right now. We then get the actual blade reveal, and it's perfect. It's the second time I got chills in this scene. We then get Athena's little monologue about Kratos being a monster and how she sees through all that Kratos is pretending to be.
You cannot change. You will always be a monster.
The third time I got chills in this scene. Don't get me wrong, this scene is amazing nostalgia, and I think it's why I think playing the first 3 games makes this moment so much better, but I think it's more than just a cheap callback to say, oh look, it's his old weapons. To me, the beauty in this scene is in Kratos' response to Athena.
I know. But I am your monster no longer.
Kratos can't change what he is, and as much as we might love him, there's no denying Kratos wasn't living with the highest morals back in the day. He did a lot of awful things, and the blades were always there with him, oftentimes the instrument of his wrath and wrongdoings. The blades represented everything bad that happened in Greece, and it makes sense as to why he'd hide them and try to distance himself from that. But now things have changed, Kratos has changed, they're different for Kratos. He's going back to his past and putting the blades on again, but not for the Greek gods, as he says he's no longer their monster. Now he is his own man trying to do better. He puts the blades on out of his own free will, not to do bad like he used to, but to save his son, the most important person in his life. I think it's absolutely beautiful, everything about it. The nostalgia, Christopher Judge's performance, the atmosphere, but more importantly, what it has to say about both Kratos' past and future. For all these reasons, I think it's easily one of my favorite scenes of all time.